Well, let's try this again. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning from Oklahoma. I'm out here waiting to get my load to go back to the Midwest, to what I hear to the snowstormy, frozen Midwest. It's actually been really cold out here too. This morning they had freezing temperatures all over Oklahoma as well, which is pretty uncommon. But out in this area, it's basically the Wild West. Everything is kind of like northern Mexico. Um, if it's not for the underground water to use and hydrate, they wouldn't be able to grow all this beautiful grass and grow all this beautiful cattle. Anyways, the reason I'm tuning in today is because the channel keeps growing and I'm kind of at a crossroads. I'm wondering what to do next. There's several things that have happened with the Momo challenge and all the other idiotic, sick people that have been intruding on the platform. This channel has gone under quite a few changes. One of the biggest things that happened was YouTube disabled the comments on my channel because the family content is oriented to children, and a lot of my videos actually feature my children. And unfortunately, from what it looks like, there is plenty of sick people out there who consider children an object of some sick fantasies. So, unfortunately, creators get to suffer due to that. Now, that being said, it doesn't change the fact of what my channel is about. It will still be about family, about pregnancy, about childbirth and parenting. And this is what I'm going to keep focusing on. Help people with their healthcare needs and questions. We live in a world where we have access to all that information. At the same time, it seems like we stay misinformed and information is not enough or not presented in a proper way. So this is where I see my role, trying to serve as a kind of a transition between these worlds. If I find the access to the information that I can provide for people, I will provide it, and I really don't care if it gets monetized or not. One of the things that I've noticed, when you do get throttled, which you do unfortunately nowadays, because YouTube has even come out and said it, that they will throttle channels that seem to have content that attracts back players. Now, this is really strange because the goal is obviously for nobody to have those bad players on, but it happens. And instead of punishing these people, YouTube is punishing the content creators. As ugly as it is, it's a fact. Nothing can change that. And what I can say right now is that I'm at the point where I'm looking to get a little bit more content oriented to worldwide audience. I've noticed that a lot of my audience comes from Asia. So I will try to get a lot of my content translated in the respective languages. I do see the analytics. I see a lot of following from India and Indonesia. These are huge pools of people who are fresh into the internet market. And now that access is so widely provided, I guess a lot of the information that they get is from YouTube, being such a huge search engine. Now, one thing that I want to do for that, obviously, I will outsource the translations. I'm not capable of translating in any of those languages. So what I'll do is probably I'll use some of the Fiverr services, and this is going to be one of the things because I see that videos with subtitles do a lot better. I will try to get the community involved, and hopefully that will help. One thing that I'm noticing also is that I do have access to Creative Commons content that's already on YouTube that I can compile. I will have to get in touch with a YouTube coach that can actually advise on how this could be done legally, so I could get the videos that I need and compile them in a format that will actually work for my audience. because we gotta face it, we're done having children, so I'm not gonna be able to get more pregnancy consultations with my wife involved. We already have three beautiful kids, and that's plenty for our family. We're happy with them and very proud of them. Now, one thing that I've noticed, people find uh, people find comfort in basically getting their superstitions and their beliefs that they already have confirmed by the internet. And that's by no means the goal of my channel. So what I'll try to do is get different points of view on every topic that I provide. So I might do comparison videos, and I'll try to do different doctors' opinions from different walks of life and have them kind of opposed to each other so that people can draw their own conclusions and see what best works for them. Uh, Wise people usually say stay away from someone who's read only one book and reads only one paper. We do see this nowadays with this huge information stream that we have. People do live in a little information bubble still, which is really bad, unfortunately, because not only does this limit your worldviews, but it also stops you from developing. It keeps you pretty much in the same little spot where you were before things started. Now, going back to why I titled this video the 12K, we did reach 12,000 subscribers, and when I watch my analytics, it seems like most of this subscriber base comes from that particular video, the what to expect when you're expecting a 39 weeks of pregnancy, which is a very, very narrow niche, but also that allows me to dominate that niche. That video probably today will hop on over 4 million views, so you're welcome to jump on it and take a look. If you're using vidIQ or TubeBuddy or any of those softwares, they can actually give you the stats of what is expected of it. uh, just so you know, stats don't necessarily represent the reality. One of the biggest things I have about this is Social Blade, for example. When you look at the stats for some channels, they give you a very wide range of monetization options. What could they have been paid for this? My truth is very different from what Social Blade predicts. So let's say the minimum pay that they predict, what I'm getting is probably a quarter of that, just so you know, because a lot of the YouTubers out there boast with AdSense revenues and things like that. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the market that my views come from are from India, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and these markets don't necessarily have a representation of a lot of high-paying ad revenue streams. So it could be expected that the revenue that you get is not as high as the one that you would get from Western Europe, North America, and namely, I would say mostly USA and Canada. So if your audience is USA and Canada based, stick with what you're doing. You might be doing it right. You might be exactly where you need to be, because this is where you can be getting those three, uh, 5 up to 7 CPM, where when you split that with YouTube, you would be looking at about a dollar to a couple of dollars for 1,000 minutes of watch time, not 1,000 views. This is another confusion that a lot of people are throwing out there when they're doing their stats. Anyways, the channel has been growing. At the same time, it has been throttled by YouTube. They did disable comments across my channel, so I'm unable to get comments. I'm guessing that I'm able to get a live stream comments as well, because I don't see anybody commenting. They do throttle me in another way. Probably you will not get a notification even if you're subscribed to me. for that particular reason. So I'm trying to do my my distribution myself. I'm trying to put the word out there with community posts, with Twitter posts and Facebook posts. Still, the video that does most of the advertising for me is the most popular video. Like I mentioned, it's gonna hit 4 million views today, which is 95% of the channel, basically. So yesterday, the views were almost 100,000 across the channel, which is huge. A lot of channels don't have this many views throughout their lifespan, and this channel hit that in a 24-hour period. So things are happening. I will be working with uh, pregnant moms that will try to get on the channel. The issue that I have is that I see as a problem, people will not be able to ask questions in the long run because of the comments being disabled, which sucks. But I'll try to circumvent that. And the phone is definitely overheating, so I'm assuming that this will be cutting a lot. So I will be cutting this short. I want to wish everybody a very successful 2019. I will try to go live more often, and I will try to put together a lot of informational healthcare videos this year. So let's go and let's grow together. Do what you love,